What gave you the idea to start French Woods?
I always wanted to be involved in camp. I always was. And outside of camp, I liked doing all these things. I liked being in theater. I was a musician. I was a teacher. And I also like sports.
Yeah.
So with all the things that I liked, it was just something I combined everything for and made French Woods.
Describe the camp when it was first founded.
Well, it was very small. There were 90 kids, actually 92 kids the first summer, 92 altogether. And most of them were kids from my junior high school. And they just came up to fill up beds. Second year, it started to grow a little bit.
Why was French Woods named French Woods?
Originally, there was a village here. It was a village called Bouchouville, and it was settled by people from France several hundred years ago. And the local people just started calling it French Woods.
Right. Before the camp was founded, what was the land used as?
There was it was called the boarding house. There was a great big building down by the lake. It was 3 stories high and about 40 rooms. And people would come from the city, they would come here, and they would rent a room, and that way they could get out of the heat of the city during the summertime.
I see. Did you ever expect it to be such a success?
I always hoped it would be, yeah.
When you founded the camp, did you have any partners?
Yes, I did. I had a fella who was, his name was Mike Flamhaft, and he was my partner for the first 4 years. He was somebody who I personally got along with very well, but the kids didn't like it. So after 4 years, he left.
And basically, did you own half the camp, or he did, or?
I owned half, and he owned half.
And what happened after he left?
I bought him out. I bought his half.
Was the camp originally a performing arts camp?
Yes.
When first founded, what activities were offered, and how was it different than today?
Oh, there were a lot of differences in today. There was no circus when it was first formed. No circus at all. And there was a music program, there was a theater program, there was almost no art program, a little bit, not much, no magic. There was music, art, and sports, there was dance, and of course waterfront, tennis.
Yeah. In the younger days of the camp, were punishments any different than how they are now?
Not really.
Were campers better or worse behaved 20 years ago than they are now?
That's not a fair question. I think that the kids are the same.
Over the years, how many campers were expelled due to behavior problems, and could you give any examples?
We've sent kids home for different reasons. Okay, sometimes kids can't keep their hands to themselves. Sometimes kids steal things. When that stuff happens, they can't stay here. This is not a community that can accept that.
Right. Have any counselors been expelled?
Sure.
Have any campers or staff been expelled due to sexual misbehaviors?
Sometimes.
And, how serious?
Usually it's because they're not smart enough to keep their private lives private.
Many of the staff of French Woods come internationally. Has it always been that way?
It's always been that way, and it's because I really think that the international staff add a great deal of flavor to French Woods. I think they're really good to have.
French Woods is a family business. What special challenges have you faced in running a family business?
Well, when you're running a family business and you bring your business home, so it's you're in business 24 hours a day, and sometimes that can be very trying.
What do you enjoy most about running French Woods?
Probably dealing with the kids.
How did you manage to build an environment in which everyone from youngest to oldest is so supportive of each other's talents?
I think that some of that may be mine, but I think most of it comes from the fact that the kids that are here are really very special kids. They're great kids.
Yeah. What is your vision of Frenchwood's 50 years from now, and how will it be better?
I hope that 50 years from now, French Woods is still doing what it's doing, and maybe even doing it longer, and maybe the season's even longer than it is now.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your interview time.
Not at all.